Hey everybody, welcome to our channel, The Plumbing Gurus. My name's Clayton. On this channel, we strive to save you money, keep you informed on all the proper plumbing practices. I'm gonna go through and do a walkthrough with you on what we did here. So stay tuned, guys. Come check this out. Let's roll. Right, so we're in the duplex building here. We're in the basement on the one side. I'm gonna show you guys how we tied everything in. It was a little bit more complicated than we figured it was gonna be, but here we are. So we had 4-inch coming in. So like I said earlier, if you guys didn't watch the previous videos, is this house, the service comes in above the floor in the basement, above the concrete here. So we have a lift station to pick everything up from the basement, which I have groundworks videos for that. You guys should check that one out right here, that you can watch those videos. So we have 4-inch running up. So the reason why we ran 4-inch for the whole house is because in Alberta, anything more than 3 toilets is required a 4-inch drain. So you can't run more than 3 toilets in a 3-inch drain. In that case, we had to run 4-inch the whole trunk line of the house. We just decided to run 4-inch because we put a clean out at the end, a 4-inch clean out that they can use to service this whole drain if they ever need to. I would assume that a 3-inch would be big enough to go down a toilet and service this 4-inch drain, but that's just how we like to do things. Run 4-inch all the way and then have your 4-inch clean out at the end. So here, this is the start of the stack here. So we put our clean out here, expansion joint coming up here, 4-inch, ran this straight up. I had to offset over because there's a distance that I had to be from the edge of the joist to the center of this hole to keep the structural for the joist. For the bathroom where our plumbing wall was above that LVL, like I said, great spot to put an LVL or a plumbing wall right up. It's just, I don't understand why they would do it, but here we are. So that 3-inch runs up into here. It's all covered now. You can't really see anything, so there's no point in me showing you. 4-inch runs over. You can see all the couplings we had to use. It wasn't actually too bad to run. A lot of planning. You got to make sure when you're drilling such a big hole through a joist, that you really try not to make any mistakes as best as you can, which honestly, I made a mistake here. I measured one hole an inch too high, I think, is what I ended up doing. I made a mistake. Anyways, we're all human, right? So here, this is that wall-mounted toilet right here. Shoots up and over, and then the sink, pretty standard, wet vents that toilet. Drops into the 4-inch. Don't worry about this 3-inch pipe. That's furnace venting. So here we'll dive into the vent that we dropped down. So that sink on the main floor, we dropped a vent for this is going to be a future bar sink here. Watch out for this. Future bar sink and a full bathroom rough-in. So there's going to be a sink, toilet, and then the bathtub. So we like to put a sleeve around where the drain is coming up for the bathtub. It's so much easier. You have lots of room. You can get it big enough where you can actually see the P-trap. So if you need to adjust or change anything, it's really easy to sleeve your plumbing coming up like that. Instead of having like a little cap and you got to dig everything out when you're putting your tub in, this makes life a lot easier for the future. So from here, that takes care of the vent for this bathroom group here. We came across here, we wide for our stack over here, as you can see. So that picks up the 3-inch where the bathtub is on the second floor. And then it Ys, that 3 by 1.5 inch Y, picks up that prep sink on the main floor. This 2-inch picks up the lift station. And I'll get into that later. And this 1.5 inch is just a sump that runs through the outside. This 4-inch continues on, picks up the master bathroom. So that 3-inch stack that runs up there is the toilet, two sinks, the shower drain, and the bathtub. and then it comes all the way over to here. And at the very end, we put a 4x2 wide with a clean out at the end, and we're able just to run our kitchen from the 4x2 straight over and straight up. All right, so let's jump into the mechanical room here. So they're still working. Looks like Carson's just finishing up on the boiler system. So what we had here is this is the sump. Here, I don't know if you remember, sorry. Check out the Groundworks videos on these. We did a video on them and I explained how I ran everything. So this is the sump. This is what it looks like at roughen stage or almost finished stage of the roughen. We ran our sump up with our check valve, and this runs straight up and over, and that's that one I was talking about earlier that runs straight outside. Here is the lift station. So we had to drill our own holes through this lid. This was actually a really good idea from the builder. They were able to find a cover for the lift station. And we were able just to drill 2 holes, come straight up through the lift station. This is the vent for the lift station. This is the drain for the lift station, or the pump side of the lift station. So this bathroom group in the basement, and the floor drain and the condensate drains, everything runs to this lift station. And then from there, it'll pump out and go back into the 4-inch drain that we ran earlier. And I can actually show you. I don't know if I showed you guys that earlier. 3-inch that runs over, and then that 2-inch that runs this way. That's the going to be from the lift station. And you can see the lift station comes up here, offsets. And then we also ran a indirect drain for the laundry room, and that runs all the way downstairs to the mechanical room down here. And if anything emergency happens, whatever, hopefully that drain will catch all the water and bring it down to the basement instead of flooding upstairs. So, all right, so that's it for the drainage and the venting. Water lines, pretty basic. I mean, I don't feel like I need to run through the whole water line of the house. I kind of touch base a little bit here and there of the water lines. But anyways, once we have everything tied, we cap everything off, we cap all the showers, and then we air test. So we air test at 100 PSI for 2 hours is code. So we keep it on air test, so in case somebody hits one of our water lines, it's gonna make a big noise. Everybody's gonna know that we have an issue. So very important. So when you're setting your water lines up, keep it on air test. Don't bleed the air out when you're done. Keep, good at least 60, 70 pounds or whatever, even 100 pounds of PSI in the water lines, so that if somebody does hit it, somebody's gonna know. And then they can call the plumber and we can come fix it. So, all right, everybody, that's it for this video. Don't forget, there's 2 other videos for this series. There's a top floor and a main floor. I'd highly suggest, if you like this content, to watch those 2 videos. And there's also a video of the groundworks that explain how I did the groundworks and my thought process for everything as well, to make the job turn out the way that it did right now. So anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget, smash that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. See you on the next one.